As we celebrate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through our 25th annual celebration, we think about the many profound words that he has shared with us. Dr. King shared that we are not makers of history, we are made by history. His words encourage us to consider whether we are molded by society or whether we are a molder of society. It makes us contemplate our individual and collective impacts on this world. This year, students in grades 3 through 5 and in grades 6 through 12 were invited to submit an original piece of work answering this question: how can you influence or make a change that will have a meaningful impact on your generation? Included with their submission is a list of 2 or 3 meaningful actions. From this list, they were asked to choose one action and how they think this action would have the most impact in the world and tell us why. Submissions were judged on creativity, coherence, clarity, content, and adherence to the theme. We thank all of the students who took time to participate in this contest and worthy endeavor for our celebration. We applaud you for all of your efforts. Please join me in congratulating the following students who have been selected as the winners of the 25th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration Contest. In grades 3 through 5, in first place is Hudson Cave, a 5th grade student at Stanley Elementary. Second place is Vincenzo Abatiello, a 5th grade student at Luray Elementary. And in third place is Caleb Smith, a 5th grade student at Springfield Elementary. In grades 6 through 12, our first place winner is Sierra Bolyard, an 8th grader at Page County Middle School. In second place is Avery Orman, a 7th grader at Page County Middle School. And third place is Tatum Barnes, a 7th grader at Luray Middle School. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the life and the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We are excited to now hear from each of these winners as they share their submissions with us. As you listen, we ask that you consider your impact on the world and what it might be. Thank you.
I would help my generation by cleaning up the oceans. Since there's a lot of trash in the ocean, I think this would be very helpful. Cleaning up the ocean will help keep ocean animals alive. Ocean animals are dying because of all the trash that is in the ocean. Also, keeping ocean plants alive is important too. Phytoplankton are dying because of all the trash in the ocean, and they give us a lot of our oxygen. A couple of ways that I would clean the ocean are: 1, I would raise fundraisers. I'd need money to buy supplies, and I'll need supplies to clean the ocean. 2, I'll make posters that say help clean the oceans. If I do this, people might volunteer to help me clean the oceans. 3, I'll get friends, family, and volunteers to help me clean the oceans. This way I'll be able to clean up more of the ocean, and I'll be able to clean up the ocean quicker. Cleaning the oceans will help my generation in a few ways. 1, the oceans will be cleaner. 2, not as many ocean animals and plants will be dying.
There are different ways I feel I can help make the community safe. In the following, I will discuss 3 of my ideas to do so. First, protecting businesses from potential robberies. Secondly, protecting civilians from crimes against humanity. Lastly, encourage overall happiness for my fellow people. In my opinion, the job of a police officer is to protect and serve. Monitoring surveillance cameras, making themselves present, and talking to different people are great ways to show criminals we are safe. Am I right? The more people that know police officers are around, the less likely for a crime to be committed. This is a small example of protecting our community. I can explain crimes against humanity as people hurting other people. Murder, abuse, or any act of violence are the worst crimes people can do. If you think people are always good, think again. I see good people do bad things because of bad choices. If I could stop these crimes, I definitely would, by setting a good example for everyone. You never know what people are going through, so making people happy should be on the top of your list. Being a police officer, I could organize a food drive for the homeless. If I ever see an elderly person having trouble crossing the street, I could stop and help them. After a long career in law enforcement, I could become a lawmaker that would fight for free health care and medication for all. This will make everyone healthier, and boom, just like that, everyone is happier. Out of all the things possible I could do, this is just the beginning. If I could make everyone feel the way I do, the world would be a much safer place. In my future, I conclude that protecting businesses from potential robberies, protecting civilians from crimes against humanity, and giving everyone overall happiness can change the world in large ways. I am the future and the positive changes for generations to come.
So many kids have forgotten how to be a kid. When you drive through a neighborhood, how many young people do you see outside shooting hoops? Not very many. That's because most kids my age are tucked away inside of their houses playing video games. Participating in sports is not only healthy for our bodies, it teaches us how to be team players and get along with each other. I have a dream to get people my age moving again and working together. I believe that I can. My idea is to start a basketball club during recess. I want kids to have fun and play sports like basketball. If I can help motivate young people to get active and participate in team sports by working with them on developing their basketball skills at school, then hopefully they will be more likely to take the same attitude home. Who knows, those same kids may join a rec team and then end up playing basketball in middle school and high school. Not only will this promote physical fitness, it will also reinforce valuable social skills. The fact is, parents tell their kids to play outside, but they don't. Our generation is too stuck on Fortnite to even get fresh air. We are kids and we need to stay healthy and mentally and fit physically. The only way that we can do this is by taking the first step together. That's why I want to start this club. It will change the course of history by reinforcing the Martin Luther King Jr. saying it is always the right time to do the right thing. Hopefully you will be hearing lots more juggling and seeing lots more high fives in your neighborhood. What are you waiting for? Join us. I will see you on the court.
There's a light in the darkness, and these lights will never fade.
Our first place essay winner at the secondary level is Sierra Bolliard. She was unable to read her essay for us, so as her English teacher, I'm going to read it for her. Congratulations, Sierra. Martin Luther King Jr. helped change the world in his own way, but here's how I would change the world. I want to change the world by helping to stop global warming. Global warming affects every living and non-living thing on the entire planet. It harms the environment and economy, and it has been a problem for a long time. Global warming affects everywhere in the world. Every person, plant, living and non-living thing is vulnerable to its effects. Global warming is exactly what it sounds like, the increase of temperature of Earth. The increase in heat brings increase in droughts, wildfires, and other heat-related disasters. It also impacts our health. The heat causes a decline in water and food supplies due to reduced agricultural yields. Because of inflation, prices on water and food would probably rise, even though they are needed to survive. If prices get too high, people won't be able to buy the products, and that will eventually lead to an individual's death. Those listed things are all proof that global warming has had a negative impact on the planet. Droughts aren't good for the environment nor the people, and neither are wildfires. We need food and water to survive, and it'll get really rough once those supplies run out. Global warming has been a problem for decades, even centuries, and it's only getting worse. It was first introduced in the early 19th century. That was 200 years ago, and we still haven't stopped it. An increase in factories due to more products and inventions being produced and consumed means an increase in the burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels release a large amount of carbon dioxide when burned. This causes heat to get trapped in the atmosphere and build up to climate change. We need to achieve net zero carbon emissions globally by 2050, or we'll have to face the worst effects of global warming yet. Global warming brings incredibly severe weather, not only heat. These higher temperatures worsen many types of natural disasters, such as floods, droughts, heat waves, and storms. The frequent occurrence of severe disasters means the frequent occurrence of homes, cities, and towns getting destroyed, which leads to several repairs and things of the like, which costs money up to the billions. Warmer climates allow for dry areas to get even drier and wet areas to get even wetter. That causes a high increase in droughts, rainstorms, floods, and hurricanes. In conclusion, I would like to stop global warming. It affects everyone and everything. Not only that, but it brings incredibly high temperatures and incredibly severe disasters. It has been around for centuries, and it has not gotten rid of. If we don't stop this soon, life as we know it will come to an end, and we wouldn't want that.
Ways that can be an influence: voting, discrimination, climate change. Voting is important rather it is in our schools, community, or country. Voting is the way to make your voice heard. One way I can influence voting is to talk about it, sharing thoughts and ideas. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing: pursuit of happiness. Right now, our rights are slowly being taken away. We need to stand up and show up. Go vote. My second point that is strongly important to me is discrimination. When we look at each other, we shouldn't see a skin color or a disability. We are all humans beings made under the same creator. As humans, we should stand up for one another. My influence on this is to stand up for others. Be kind to each other and know we all have our differences. Kindness will go a long way. You only have one life, make it count. Last and most importantly is climate change. If we don't take action now, we won't have an earth left. I can influence this by recycling. We need to pick up trash in our area, use less energy. We can use less fossil fuels. by not driving places that are not necessary. These are the 3 things that are most important to me. Now's the time to take action.
Don't be afraid of life. Well, life is a meaningful thing. Life can mean a lot of different things. To me, life is precious and you should enjoy it. If you're feeling down, try to think of something positive. The other thing I want to say is be you. I don't want your talent to go to waste. You may have talent inside you that you might not know of. People say you're never going to make it. Please don't listen to them. They just want you to do what makes you happy. People around the world could come together and be in harmony. We wouldn't have to worry about war and hatred on each other. The world is already caught up in money and power and keep creating wars. We need to come together. Think about it. Do you want new generations come to this? War, hatred, inequality? Sure, we have to suffer from that, but we need to focus on future generations to come. Even if people still try to hate you, try to ignore it, they just want to try to get under your skin. The reason why people aren't being themselves is because of the media. There's a type of hate for everything: gender, weight, Christianity, and race. People need to start coming together, or this great world will go into ruins. People need to care more about helping the world, not just think about themselves. Like, if people like Martin Luther King Jr. only care about himself, we would still have laws like Jim Crow. Theodore Roosevelt kept to himself, we wouldn't have the Panama Canal. Or the Wright brothers kept to themselves, we wouldn't have the planes. So we need to start thinking about each other, about people, who will make this world a better place again.